Yes, people, welcome back to another live stream on the channel. I feel like it's been a while, but while for me back hosting. But you know what? I'm back. We're back with another stream. Obviously, this is your Gameweek 17 review. Yeah, lots of games to discuss. Important games, key games, some interesting games. But you know what? We will delve into it. Let's start adding people as we always do. First off is the man himself, Ollie Sinclair. How you doing, Ollie?
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. And also we got our co-host himself, Manny. How you doing, Manny?
All good. All good. All good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Yeah, we do have someone who would like to join. If he can, he's more than welcome. But yeah, it would be good to definitely have some more people to talk about things. Unbiased TV, and yet we all know that there is some bias. Good one there.
Of course. But nice. I have sent the link to you on your Instagram. But yeah, let me go through the comments. Chelsea fans, big up to you. Versus Arsenal. So the link more of this space. I've sent it to you and Charlie, big up to you. But yeah, we will get into the games. That happened in the weekend, including the Friday one. First off, it is Nottingham Forest losing at home to Tottenham Hotspur 2-0. And obviously, good way to start that today. Pretty sure Forest fans have been, shocked and concerned, but they have sacked their manager. And they are replacing him with Nuno, which for me, it is a weird one. But, obviously losing to Spurs, it is a bit difficult because Forest, they had to get somewhere in this game, because obviously they lost convincingly to Fulham. And then obviously they was under pressure. So, yeah, but I thought, I thought they was going to stick with the managers, but, the Forest owner's ruthless. Decided to sack him and get Nuno instead. So, yeah. But, Manny, I'm going to go over to you. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Nuno is a no-no. Failed at, Spurs when he managed them, ironically. Did quite well at Wolves, and it will be interesting to see how he, takes everything at Forest, because what's going to be apparent here is that several players who were purchased during these last 1.5 years in preparation for their Premiership season, several of them will probably be told that they have no future at the club and will be allowed to leave as early as the January window itself, because there's no way that Santo will want to try and have too many players on the books. In addition to Turner and Vlachodimos, for instance, he's also got Wayne Hennessy, who's, I think, in the reserves. I think he's probably going to tell him to, get some game time elsewhere to prepare for Wales's potential qualification for Euro 2024 if they do qualify. Ollie, that'll be of some interest to you. Several others also injured. It will be interesting to see if they will play any further part in the season. I think, maybe Nuno will have learned the lessons from his time at Tottenham. He will probably look to be the manager he was at Wolverhampton, and then just try and take it from there. As far as Cooper is concerned, I just got the feeling that, he was losing control a little bit. And in the end, he just sort of had to leave. You often got the feeling, taking a look at him and his demeanor, that he was kind of sleepwalking in a way through his interviews and some of his matches. And I think, it seems like a ruthless decision, but with the club nosediving in form, I wouldn't, maybe not nosediving per se, but certainly not improving, they felt as though they had to be a little bit more ruthless. And with Everton starting to come up, they're just not. They just don't have any guarantee that they won't be dragged back into a relegation scrap. So in the end, I guess it was very sad and unfortunate that he had to leave. But credit to him, he will, of course, be known as the manager who got Forest back into the Premiership after a gap of about 20 odd years, I think. And hopefully he'll find the job elsewhere, but he might probably end up taking a bit of a break and then moving on there.
I think something tells me that he's going to take the Palace job. I think Palace they might come for him. That's
Oh, the merry-go-round continues. Now they're making they're having concerns about Roy Hodgson, despite the job he did.
yeah.
I think there was the ex West Ham and Charlton manager Alan Kirbishley who spoke about how the fact that managers go out one job and into another is a bit of proof that it's become a bit of a closed shop, and that seems to be the case now more than ever. And of course, the game itself, Brennan Johnson coming back to the City ground went off injured, but didn't really affect Spurs' momentum. And I just think without our knee, they just never really had any kind of a plan B. They never had any squad development. So Nuno's responsibility now will be to really improve the squad.
100%. Ollie, what's your thoughts on Steve Cooper getting the sack and the game overall?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a shock. He's gone, but they weren't doing that well, so it kind of had to happen. But good win for Tottenham. I think I predicted the score 2-0, so I got that right. But yeah, good win.
You're flying in the predictions table now. You're second coming for that title.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you think Forest getting Nuno is a good replacement for them, or what do you think?
No, I don't think it is. No.
Cool. We do have Josh from Unbiased TV.
What you saying?
I'm alright. But talk to me about Forest sacking Steve Cooper.
You know what? I was actually surprised. I was actually very surprised when they announced that. Obviously, they've sacked him. Obviously they're currently 17th in the Premier League, which is not too bad. Honestly, I feel like they should have kept him and gave him more time. But honestly, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it depends where Forest go from here. Do they go to the market, make some signings, and improve their squad, or do they stick with the players that they have now? Are they going to get Nuno Espirito Santo? If I say yes, how will he fare in the Premier League? Obviously, he's been at Tottenham, he's been at Wolves, so how will he fare in the Premier League? So we just have to see, But I don't think they'll get relegated. I think Forest will stay out. They'll definitely stay out.
Yeah. But for me, listen, I'm quite shocked to be fair. Not with the sacking, but for me, the replacement is a bit. No one saw this coming. To be fair, Nuno. I don't think. Listen, you can prove me wrong, but I don't think he's going to do a good job at Forest. Man. I don't know why they decided to go in for him, but listen, he can prove me wrong. Listen, I don't want to be right, but listen, he just has to go out there and prove me wrong. But for me, he is a weird appointment. But look, I don't think with the squad they have, I don't think they will get relegated. I think that they have a good enough strong for me. I think they will stay up. So yeah, but yeah, we pretty much discussed this game. So yeah, Tottenham, there's nothing much to on them. They were probably the favourites. So yeah, good one for them. Next one.
At least they've recovered.
Yeah. Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0, and Chelsea, they found the match that they won. So fair play to Chelsea. But yeah, I mean, look, Chelsea had to win this, obviously, with the form with the Everton thing, and then they lost to United as well. So they had to win this game, and they did 2 goals. Obviously, I think it was Nicholas Jackson that scored as well. So yeah, if this gives them a boost, then who knows? But Sheffield United obviously now with Chris Wilder, which for me I didn't see that coming again, him coming back to Sheffield. But I think if Chris Wilder can manage to keep them up, then that'll be an unbelievable job. But now I just don't. I don't see. I don't even if the Chris Wilder point. I don't see it. So for me, look, Chelsea, good win for them. But Sheffield United, yeah. I don't think Chris Wilder can do anything much for you guys. But yeah. But obviously, Manny was shaking his head. So Manny, your thoughts on the game and see Sheffield United with the Chris Wilder.
Sheffield United are down for the count. Chris Wilder was a desperate panic buy in the hope that it would bring some hope back. But the more matches they have like this, the more we have to accept that their fate will be sealed sooner rather than later. It'll be a question of when rather than if. And Chelsea had to beat the team in front of them, and they, credits them. They stuck to their task. They're still not quite firing on all cylinders. At least they needed the 3 points to sort of keep them pretty much in the top half of the table, within some possible shout of maybe getting back into Europe via the Conference League. But after January, they are going to have to really, pick up the pace. And special mention to Georgi Petrovic, who came in for the injured Sanchez and kept a clean sheet. I think Chelsea might still want to go in for another goalkeeper because they got Petrovic and Bettinelli, the ex-Fulham youngster there. And they're not going to get Ramsdale, though. Arteta won't sell him, so they're going to have to try and decide whether to wait for Sanchez to come back or get another goalkeeper. We will see. And it was more or less expected, really, this result, and there's really nothing much more to say about it. Let me give the floor to either one of you. Ollie, Josh, take it away.
Yeah, Ollie, go first, Ollie.
Yeah, I predicted a Chelsea win. I thought they'd win this game. I know some Chelsea fans are a bit negative, saying they might not win, but I thought they'd win this game, and I think Sheffield United will go down. I don't think Chris Wilder was a good choice to bring him back. It's not going to do anything. But yeah, good win for Chelsea. Yeah, and Cole Palmer had a good game as well.
I actually predicted a draw in this one. One, because of Chelsea's recent form, they've been up and down. Yeah, man. Honestly, Chelsea have been crap throughout the season. I'm saying they've lost so many games. West Ham, Newcastle. It's been, they've been in turmoil, and they're currently sat 12th, 13th in the league. A club with the magnitude that they are, like a big club like they are. It's a bit embarrassing to me. But again, are they gonna turn this around? Obviously, they're currently in a game right now against Newcastle. Will they go all the way and win the AFL Cup? Can they win a trophy this season? Will they? Well, it's 1-0 Newcastle right now, as I've spoken. So,
Oh well.
Chelsea in the mud again.
Listen, the game's just started, so there's still some time. So let's not jump the gun, shall we?
Bloody. Wait. As I speak about Chelsea concede 1-0 Newcastle. Callum Wilson.
Yeah. 1-0 Newcastle, indeed.
Well done.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, Chelsea are.
Chelsea fans Carabao Cup, so that's what I'm going to say. But for me, look, I thought Chelsea was going to win, but not convincingly. But you know what? 2-0, I mean, is what it is. But there's nothing too much to say about this one, if you look at it. So, yeah. Next game, I mean, Roy Hodgson. Yeah, my Roy Hodgson. I mean, there's a video going around that he was laughing at Pep, but listen, he's outschooled him. Roy Hodgson, listen, I thought Palace did well, even when they was losing 2-1, their heads were still up. They didn't give up, and they kept trying. So, Pep, you can have that, mate. Keep complaining, keep moaning, asking for more fans. Keep doing that because you know what? One win in the last 6. Is there a crisis going on, mate? Because all this Man United, this crisis, this, and that. Last 6 games, City have only won 1, and that was Luton. There are serious conversations needed. I mean, look, you may say the De Bruyne injury has affected them, but I don't think. Well, for me, I think City. Even City fans can say that they haven't been playing good football this season, even with obviously when they had De Bruyne. So you know what, Palace as well. Very surprised, but yeah, 2 points dropped for City, but I let Arsenal fans go. Manny, I'm sure you was very happy with Roy Hodgson and his tactics.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say right now that it was justice, because why Edison Moraes was not sent off for that dreadful tackle, I will never know. So it was fitting, really, that he conceded and ended up, letting that penalty go past him. Michael Elise, take a bow, son. That was a pressure penalty, and you stepped up brilliantly. And City deserved to have 2 points taken away from them for the complacency they showed. You do not go 2-0 up and not try to close the deal, at least by getting a third. You cannot allow yourself to be lackadaisical in defense. You cannot allow yourself to get overrun in the midfield. And I would say that more than the loss of De Bruyne and Haaland due to injury, when you get rid of the likes of Fernandinho the season before last and Gundogan last season, you're taking away 2 players who literally were totemic in terms of their leadership. You just have to wonder who really is captaining that team. If it's Walker, well, I tell you what, he's been a good servant for City and England, but he's starting to feel the effects. I was actually surprised that he wasn't let go. If you wanted to be ruthless and let go of Gundogan, you might as well let Walker also leave. There was talk of him possibly heading back to Aston Villa. Thankfully, that didn't materialise. They've got Cash and Konsa there. They might decide to get a new right back so that Konsa can still be a centre back. But back to Manchester City. Of course, they have, put that aside by beating their Japanese opponents in the semi-finals of the World Club Championship, and they will be playing the Copa Libertadores winners Fluminense in the final. But even if they do win this trophy, it's not going to necessarily erase the memory of what's been a pretty poor middle part of the season. Now, we all know, of course, that City have this amazing ability to somehow get on a run when they're down and then just catch up with everyone. But the biggest problem here is that when you lose momentum in such a way, you cannot expect your returning stars from injury to literally do everything by themselves. And there has to be more in terms of actual direction and leadership in the team. Obviously, some of Guardiola's tactics don't help. And once again, you can clip me up on this. This season will be Guardiola's last if he is unable to repeat either the Premiership or the Champions League win. Even if he gets an FA Cup and the World Club Cup, I think this will probably be a nice way to sort of sign off and say, you know what, he's taken the club as far as they can go and they need a new direction. Maybe some players who've been at the club for a little bit too long and who continue to be on the fringes will be asked to leave, or, maybe even in Scott Carson's case, retire. There's a bit of staleness now creeping into City. And although they were able to come back from a deficit once or twice, the third time, I don't think it will be the charm. As for Palace, well, you can hold off on firing Roy. Don't even think of getting Steve Cooper in. He's earned his right to stay on for a little bit longer. And, top stuff from Palace. I was quite delighted, of course, because it meant that that City would end up stumbling a bit further. And you know what? the best way to prevent them from going on a run is to not even care, to just keep saying they're not going to go on a run. It's time that we got rid of this fear factor and say, you know what, City are not going to do it. They are stumbling. Several of their players are looking leggy. It will be the end of a beautiful era. The sweet days are starting to turn a bit sour and rancid. All we can do is control what we can control and keep on winning. And that's just not Arsenal. It's Liverpool. It's Aston Villa. It's even Tottenham, if you like. So, all in all, I'm happy.
Of course. Ollie, talk to me. I know Manny was happy, but I bet you was happy when you saw the scoreline with City and Palace.
Yeah, I'm happy with the result. Obviously, City dropping points, good. So yeah, obviously they went 2-0 up, but Palace came back with obviously Mete getting a goal and then Elise getting a penalty. And obviously, Edison made that foul, which should have been a red card. But Man City have got a few injuries. Obviously, Haaland recently. They've still got De Bruyne out. So yeah, but they do need to start, picking up some more points now. Start winning games.
Do you think it's Pep's last season with City, Ollie?
Yeah, maybe if it continues, maybe if they continue like this. But I don't know. I think he'll stay. He'll probably stay. But people might think it might be his last one. But yeah, good. I'm happy to see City drop points, and I think decent result for Crystal Palace. Obviously, not the best for Man City.
Yeah, 100%. Mr. B, over to you now. Big up for you for joining, but
Yeah, big up, Lawrence. Big up to you, lads. You're doing all right?
yeah, big up.
Good.
But City Palace.
Yeah, we've got the football on here. Newcastle 1-0 up. Newcastle 1-0 up. It's Chelsea.
Talk to him, Mr. B.
In the yeah. Sorry, I'm late. By the way, apologies for that. I've got watching a bit of cricket as well because cricket's on at the moment, England and all that. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think this was a good game. I'm glad about Palace that they come back and got a draw and stuff. I'm glad they did get something out of it, and I think Roy deserves some respect because he's, a lot of people saying, oh, he should be out and all that because they're going on a little dodgy run. But he showed what an experienced manager he is, and a great manager he is, that he can come back and and hold the champions to a 2-2. That was brilliant, and I hope he does carry on longer there. I hope he gets the chance because I think he deserves it. And as Manny said, I do actually agree with that. I agreed. I think Guardiola's it's going to be his last season as manager. And I think, he wants another challenge now. He wants to move on. He might possibly try and win probably the Champions League again this season, maybe, with them, or some other. I might will win the Premiership. But I think it'll be his last season anyway. So,
yeah,
definitely.
no, 100%. I'm biased to be Josh. Talk to me.
Yo, look, Man City. Look, why is no one talking about their recent form? I don't understand. Yeah, listen, if this was Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, the whole media will be coming out. Yeah, slating Arteta, slating Ange, slating Klopp. But because it's Pep Guardiola, yeah, because they're the treble winners, right? Because they've won some trophies in the last 3-4 years, no one's saying anything about it. Come on, man. And honestly, I'm actually happy that they dropped points because if they won every single game, then this league would just practically be the Farmers League. But thank God to Palace. I'm saying Roy Hodgson, my guy, and Man City's hold that, man, hold that. Yeah, happy days, man.
Do you think it's Pep's last season as well for City?
I don't think Pep Guardiola will leave. I think he'll stay probably till next season. I think he'll leave next season.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to say this because who is out there that City can get to replace him? I mean, I know the most popular name is Xabi Alonso, but that Real
Yeah.
Madrid him, but there's no one out there that's popular for City to get to replace. So unless they want to snap up Arteta and do something there, but yeah, pretty sure Manu will enjoy that if Arsenal snap up Arteta. But yeah, yeah. My thoughts before we move on. Look, Palace, they did well. Look, at the Etihad, and you're 2-1 down, and you're still up for it, and make it 2-2. That shows great resilience from that Palace team, and fair play to Roy Hodgson, man, because it's not easy when you're 2-1 down at the Etihad. So yeah, fair play to that Palace team, man. Fair play. So yeah, moving on. Newcastle did beat Fulham 3-0. I mean, I think Fulham they've scored over like 10 of, I think it's like 10 goals in their last 3 matches or something like that. But Newcastle is always gonna be tough when you go to their St James Park. So yeah, Newcastle got the three points and the 3 goals, and fair play to them because Fulham they look very very good this season, man. So fair play to Marcus Silva, man, because he has set them out very well this season. So yeah, but Newcastle, they got the job done because I thought Newcastle were going to be fatigued, because obviously they just played the Champions League match, and yeah, but no, look, listen, they done their thing. But Ollie, I'm going to go over to you first now. But
Yep.
Newcastle win. Are you surprised? Are you surprised or not surprised? And yeah, talk to me.
I'm not surprised. I thought Newcastle would win this game. I thought it'd be a 2-1 win. Actually, I didn't know it would be a clean sheet for Newcastle. I thought it'd be quite close, but they got the win. Obviously, three goals as well. Quite comfortable win. Yeah, obviously, good win. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Manny, obviously, did you thought Newcastle were going to be fatigued, obviously after the Champions League match, or what do you think?
In some ways, yes, but I think we also have to take a look at the Raul Jimenez sending off and say that
That was stupid.
that did affect the game, and it's another example of the red mist descending on him. Obviously, there might have been a bit of an altercation between him and Lascelles earlier on in the game, but you can't just allow your frustration at something not going your way to completely boil over
Sorry.
and
No, I
behave
was
the way.
watching the football. Sorry, man.
Uh,
Chelsea nearly equalised. Sorry.
Yeah, they actually did hit the post, by the way, before Wilson scored. And Fulham are, of course, actually
Sorry,
now
man.
1-0
Carry
up,
on, mate.
but thanks to not an
Sorry,
issue,
bro.
mate. It's a Michael Keane own goal that has given Fulham the lead, so maybe that's a bit of a consolation for them. Maybe they can go on a bit of a cup run. But that sending off really did hurt Fulham, and there was really only going to be one winner at the end of all of that, because when Fulham had been doing quite well, and they had been able to find some goals. Jimenez was in the goals as well. But when you have that sending off, it completely changed the entire shape, and there was only going to be one winner. And Newcastle had to get a result to try to recover from their hurtful disappointment of not qualifying for the next stage of the Champions League. And they had been on a bit of a poor run, so they needed that win, and they did as well as they could, and they showed a great deal of character. Now, whether they will go on to qualify for the Champions League this season and replicate last season's heroics, I don't know. I think they should still be there or thereabouts in contention for the European places, but they will need to reinvest. And in all likelihood, despite the fact that they do have 3 goalkeepers in Dubravka, Karius, and Gillespie, it could very well be that they will either send Karius or Gillespie on loan and maybe try and get another goalkeeper to help them out. But of course, the fact that they no longer have European football means that they won't have the workload. So they're going to have to sort of look into that. And why Paul Dummett hasn't been getting any minutes, I will never know. they do have some injury issues to try to deal with, but once some of those players come back, I think they should be able to have a better season. As for Fulham, well, they should be okay once they get some of their players back and performing well. Jimenez coming back will now be more important than ever, but Silva's going to have to really pick the team up after this result, a rather chastening one, I might add.
Yeah, 100%. Agree with that. It's me over to you now. Newcastle did beat Fulham 3-0 at St James's Park. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I actually think I said on here, it might have been on here or might have been a different one stream. I said Fulham would come back and possibly win this because I thought Newcastle would be shattered and everything for playing in Europe. And I thought Fulham were bound to come and win this one, and the way they were going on a great run, getting loads of goals. But no, I think Newcastle turned up well, and got the 3-0. And I think it's a good win for them. Shame for Fulham, but I think the guy got sent off, Jimenez. He went bloody mad, stupid what he done, and obviously deserved to be sent off. So they got what they deserved in the end, and that's nothing for them. So but good for Newcastle anyway. Let's hope they can keep going. They're 1-0 up in this Carabao Cup. And by the way, Manny, and I know you, Ollie, as well, you love your cricket. We're about 90 odd for none, England, against West Indies.
Yeah, I'm actually sort of keeping tabs on that, and it looks as though the butler's doing the business, and he's brought along the salt.
Yeah.
The only problem is he might need a bit of pepper as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could push it on then, push it real good then, with salt and pepper,
Yeah, but oh yeah, nice one. But it's terrific, and a possible century opening stand, not even 10 overs. I think the decision to stick them in might be working really well, but I do worry about the bowling, eh?
Yeah, definitely. But looking good so far, anyway. But let's carry on with this. Obviously, it's not a cricket channel, so we'll get on with this.
Josh, obviously Newcastle 3-0 to Fulham.
First of all, right, Newcastle can hold that, you feel me? Because they got knocked out of Champions League, so they can hold that. Second of all, obviously a good win for them, 3-0 win. They're bounced back in style. That, I can't lie, that wasn't a red card for me. That was just ridiculous. That wasn't a red card at all whatsoever. But Newcastle dominated the game. They put their chance away, and they deserve 3 points, And obviously, they're currently winning 1-0 against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Will their cup run continue? Maybe, who knows? See what happens. Can they win this trophy? I've just seen it.
Yeah, 100%. But Newcastle, we just have to see, man. It's about their mentality and these cup competitions. How they set out, but yeah, that's all being said. But next game it is Burnley 0, Everton 2, and now Everton, mate, if they did not have that points deduction, I think they'll be like 1 point. They'll be 1 point behind United. Wow, that's how crazy that is. But Premier League, that
Crazy, man.
Charge Everton, but for City, they were like, no, relax, that'll take time. But yeah, no, look, Everton, since that point deduction, they've been looking very, very good. And you know what? Fair play to Sean Dyche, man, because some people thought, oh, you know what? Yeah, the players, they're going to be, their heads are going to drop now because of the point deduction. But no, listen, when you got Sean Dyche, that don't work around here, mate. So it's a fair play. All credit goes to Sean Dyche and the way he set his team up, because Everton have been fantastic. And even against Man United, when he played them at the start of the season, they did play good and they had their chances as well. If only they finished their chances, they would have had something in the game. But you know what? Everton, good win to get up Burnley as well. So fair play to Everton, but Burnley, there are some problems, issues to fix. Hopefully, they do that in January. But yeah, otherwise, if they don't do anything for January, then Burnley it's not going to be looking good for them. But Everton, you know what? If they get a clinical finisher in January, I think they're gonna be bits after that. I think they're mid-table, but man, Mr. B, I'll start off with you first. How impressed have you been with Sean Dyche and the Everton side with him?
Yeah, man, very. I mean, as you just said, their clinical finisher, they're doing all right without one, to be honest. They don't actually need one at the moment, do they? So, yeah, as you say, I think if they only had them 10 points deducted, they'd be right up there, wouldn't they? And I mean, you know, I think they've been brilliant, Everton, because I actually totally wrote them off at the start of the season. I thought, oh, they're going to struggle again. They're going to be in the shit again, you know, down there. And they're proving they're not going to be because, you know, maybe this has hit them even more and they want to prove themselves because they've had the points deducted. But we want to stay up and want to show people, you know, we shouldn't have had those points deducted and we want to stay here. And I mean, but as far as Burnley's concerned, it's looking grim for them, isn't it? So I can't see them getting anywhere. I think they're going to be down. So
yeah, no, 100% with Burnley. Yeah, not looking good for them. But yeah, Ollie, you know, Everton this season, obviously after the 10-point deduction, they've been looking very good. So talk to me about your thoughts of Everton and Sean Dyche this season.
Yeah, they've been doing well recently. Quite a lot of wins. They've got 4 wins in a row now, so they're doing well. Obviously, they're losing at the moment in the cup, which isn't the best. But yeah, good win for them against Burnley. Michael Keane on the goal.
Yeah.
Or was it 1-1?
Oh, offside.
Offside. Yeah, but
Crozier.
But good win for Everton.
Sorry, Ollie.
Good win for Everton. Obviously if they wouldn't have had the 10 points deduction, they would have been doing well. So it is a bit of a shame, but they're getting the wins up and trying to, you know, climb up the table. So looking good for Everton at the moment. And Burnley, you know, not so good.
Yeah.
So it looks as though Orest is, away from the screen at the moment. But Josh, let me get you on, and I'll speak at the very end. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thank you, bro. Look, this is a Sean Dyche masterclass. Facing his old club, you know, yeah, man. I'm saying he came up with a vengeance. Sorry, of the Burnley sacked him. He was like, you know what? Screw you. I'm saying, two with the fingers, came back in the hell too. So good win for Sean Dyche and Everton. Obviously, they were deducted 10 points. I do believe they were hard done by because, you know, Man City, they've got about 25 billion charges. Come on, man. And then you got Chelsea doing a madness and they're not even being charged themselves. So hopefully Everton get their points back. No. But we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. Also, I don't think Everton will get relegated. I do think they'll probably finish mid-table. Possibly top 10 if they can strengthen in January. Possibly top 10, but I seem like they'll probably finish, 11th, 12th maybe.
Yeah. And I will speak. Sorry, I haven't had my chance yet. But as Josh has mentioned, it was a Dyche masterclass. And shout out as well to Jimmy Tarkovsky and Dwight McNeil for also going back to Turf Moor and doing their part, playing their part, and earning a clean sheet. And I think it was effectively a way of making it very clear that Burnley got rid of the wrong manager, because now, of course, you want someone like Sean Dyche who can, you know, apply that sort of pragmatic football, but also make sure that there's enough about the team to ensure that they can score some goals, mainly through a strong midfield. And Burnley are finding out the hard way that it's not so much about having, a decent front line, a half decent front line, a good keeper. You've also got to have a strong midfield, and your defence can't afford to make any mistakes. And of course, Lyle Foster's issues aren't really helping. So I think in January, the club will have to sit down and take a look at the situation and see where they go forward. How they go forward from this, rather. I do believe a lot of people have said that they want to stick with Company for the future because they've accepted that it will be very difficult for Burnley to try and stay up. And so plans are being made for the following season to try and make sure they strengthen and then make sure they come back into the Premiership a little bit wiser. But seeing what's happened with Steve Cooper, we can't take anything for granted, and neither can Company. And he's now going to have to really work hard to try and get a win somewhere. But if he can't get the team's act together, then I think they look doomed. And Everton, well, long may their run continue. They've proven several of us wrong. Several of us have predicted that they would be going down this season, but they look excellent. But there's still barely more than half a season to go, so anything can happen. Everton can't rest on their laurels, and Dyche will not let that happen.
Of course, no, 100% exactly. And obviously, it's still halfway into the season. As many times, anything can change in the second half. So, yeah, but no, listen, Everton doing very well. Obviously, with Burnley now, obviously, all the fans must have seen what Forest have done to Steve Cooper. So, Company needs to start doing the hard working now. So, try and get the results. But, yeah, pretty sure Everton. Ollie has already.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right, next game. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. And De Zerbi got...
Expelled the demon. Expelled it.
Boy. Manny!
Demon
I
of
need to hear some
Brighton.
Arteta prop from you, so I want to go over to you, Manny, first. 76% Arsenal. Manny, Kai Havertz cooking again.
Yeah. No, listen. I'm going to say this right now. I've had my opinions on him. He's scoring goals, doing well, but he's just not a midfielder. He gums up the works at the worst of times. And if we put him in the team, if we let him start against Liverpool, who will probably have, who will of course have Gravenberch and Szoboszlai on either side of the midfield, then we could be overrun. But Wataru Endo will be a marked man. Declan Rice will love to sink his teeth into him. But as far as Havertz is concerned, him against Gravenberch will be a no contest. And I'm talking in the point of view of, tactics. We'll both be using a 4-3-3. And this was a game, really, where we made Brighton look very ordinary. I think their loss of Estupinian has really hurt them because you can't depend on the likes of Mitoma and Gross Company to make everything move. You've got to have the other players as well and a few other players to try and help keep everything ticking over. We were pressing them and they were desperately defending. Their goalkeeper was mixing some excellent saves with some pretty poor clearances, and it was only a matter of time before we scored. Even when we went in a half-time 0-0, I just knew that the floodgates would open. Now, fine margins, of course. If Pascal Gross had in fact scored, it would have been 1-1, game on, cat amongst the pigeons, all those cliches. But credit to us for, converting one of our many other chances and at least ensuring that we had a bit of respectability. But again, it's a relative lack of quality in the final third that kind of hurts us in a way. But in addition, there will also be some moments where defensively we look completely... we switch off. We lose our concentration, and we allow them to come back at us, and we can't afford to do that. But look, a win's a win. It's another clean sheet for David Raya. And not that he's much better than Onana, of course, but, we move forward. And I think a lot of people are saying that we need to win, but we need to make sure that we approach the game strategically. And if Klopp ends up playing Endo in the center of midfield, I'll tell you what, he's literally a glutton for punishment. But good win for Arsenal. Brighton made to look
It'll be the end
ordinary.
of the line. End of the line. Sorry.
You could say
Sorry,
that.
it's a
I
joke,
like
man.
that. Yeah, I know the joke. Listen, I mean, yeah, you're always you are very punny, and I do like that, Steve. And
Cheers, man. Yeah, so
yeah,
you.
and
You're good.
cheers. I try. So yeah, good win for Arsenal. Brighton were made to look ordinary. They did well to qualify for the next stage of the Europa League, and we'll see how long they go. And I think De Zerbi will realise that if James Milner never plays at left back for Brighton again, it will be too soon. Stick him in the midfield. But if you put him at left back and put him up against some really pacey right winger, he's toast with a few beans on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so who'd like to go next?
Yeah, so Ollie,
Go on, Ollie. You should go. Arsenal. Go on.
Ollie, talk to me.
Yeah.
Arsenal against Brighton, 76 possession against De Zerbi. Obviously, is that a little sweet revenge because obviously he did the knee slide last season. But yeah, talk to me, Ollie. How happy you were, and also afterwards, talk to me about the tower race thing.
Yeah, I'm happy with the win. It's a good win. It's good to get the win. Obviously, Havertz getting a goal and Jesus for the goal as well. Yeah, I'm happy with the win. I think it's I think we're doing well in the title race. Obviously, we've got Liverpool next. It's going to be tough. But I'm pretty confident I can possibly do something. As Manny said, Havertz isn't really a midfielder, so I don't know where he really plays. Maybe up front, but we don't really want him to play up front. But yeah, good win for us. I'm happy with the win. And Liverpool next. See what happens.
Yeah, indeed. And also last, Drew Gooler, man. Sorry, not Drew Gooler. Sorry. He's updated this thing now. Name it is London is Red. On my CV, talked.
Yes.
The win and also the tower race thing.
What you say, sorry?
Yes, Arsenal's 2-0 win, and after that, talk about if you're winning the title or if you're title contenders.
Okay, let's start with Brighton. So we beat Brighton 2-0. It was a very, very good game, even though we missed about. Well, we need to be more composed in front of goal, right? I'm talking Jesus, Erdegaard, Saka, Martinelli. We need to be more composed in front of goal, right? There were times in the game against Brighton where we had so many clear chances and we missed them, right? We could have won the game, at least 4-0 if we were clinical enough, but we obviously wasted our chances. We were very good defensively, very, very good defensively. Gabriel and Saliba were amazing. Zinchenko was very good. Ben White was very good. Declan Rice, as always. Listen, he is just so goddamn good, man. He is world class, man. He is for me right now. He is doing very, very good, and you know what? I'm actually very happy that we signed him, man. Saying, I feel like we should pay West Ham about 700 million because, mate, I feel like we robbed West Ham. I genuinely think we robbed West Ham then, but Declan Rice, what a player he is, man! What a bloody good footballer he is. You know? But in terms of the title race, Arsenal Football Club travel to Anfield. Rest, God help me, man. But you know what? I can't lie. Yeah, I can't lie. I am shitting myself for getting this deal, bro. I'm shitting myself. Literally, bro. Because every single time we go to Anfield, right, we get pumped, we get slapped, we get embarrassed, we get touched. Every single season, 4-0, 5-0, 5-1. It's ridiculous. You know, I'm hoping we could go to Anfield, put in a performance, and somehow find a way to win. Right? But look, listen, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, if we do beat Liverpool, I feel like we should. Well, we should possibly maybe be favourites going forward, but we need to have the right mentality. We need to be cautious, because Liverpool's attackers, mate, they are dangerous. Salah, Nunez, Luis Diaz, Jota. Liverpool's attackers are dangerous, and if we're not on it, Liverpool could punish us. They could really, really punish us, And last season, we played so well against Liverpool, right? We went 2-0 against Liverpool. We were cruising. Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus with the goals. And then we switched off like we always do every game, right? And then we conceded before half time. And then Liverpool absolutely battered us in the second half. And then another costly mistake by Zinchenko, who does not know how to defend. Honestly, God help us. Honestly, I am very... Yeah, it's honestly... I'm just praying that Zinchenko and Ben White actually defend properly on Saturday, because if not, I tell you right now, we're getting slapped. We are getting slapped against Liverpool. Saying Zinchenko can't defend, Ben White can't defend, so we're screwed. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, man. But I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. If we win, happy days.
I share your concern there, Josh, because last season Trent nutmegged Zinchenko, and even in this game, Adingra was able to nutmeg Zinchenko at left back too. So, what's the point of having a left back who contributes to the midfield and attack if he can't defend for Toffee? It's ridiculous.
You know what? I would have started to. Is what's his name? Is Partey going to be fit enough for Saturday? Was that a bit too soon?
No, I don't think so.
Too soon for me too, yeah. But as I said, if Klopp plays Endo, it could be the Endo of the line for Liverpool. But as Mr. B would say, because Endo hasn't looked convincing at all.
Why is that?
I credited you though. I always credit my sources. You know that.
You know what? I would look. If Partey was fit and we went to Anfield with Partey minus Odegaard, I would be confident. But because we're going to Anfield with Zinchenko, that twat that does not defend for his life, Ben White, he gets skinned by every winger in Premier League. How can we? In fact, how can Zinchenko? You know what? I can't lie. Listen, I can't lie. Listen, if we lose, then we're probably going to lose 2-1, something like that. But honestly, I just fear, every time Salah is going to get that ball, he's going to drive at Zinchenko every single time, and it's up to Zinchenko. What he does, what he does, is he going to be an idiot and actually go and commit and then get burned out and get wraps, or is he going to be smart, just try and shut down line? Honestly, I wouldn't play Zinchenko against Liverpool, but we have to, innit? And Ben White on the other side, bruv. I can't lie, Ben White is rubbish. He's rubbish. Yeah, he's not a good defender, man. Ben White, I don't rate him at all. He's not a good defender. But you know what? All this talk about Gabriel and Saliba being the best centre partnership in the league, go and prove on Saturday. Go to Anfield, put in a masterclass. Yeah, if you can do that, right? If you can nullify a Darwin Nunez, right? Then I'm saying happy days. But I don't know, man. I'm just nervous. I'm saying because last season we played well, we fucked it up. Then West Ham, Southampton, City. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna pray before the game. You know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna pray before 5:30. I'm saying, but we'll see what happens. If we win, trust me, you lot will not hear the end of it. For me personally, you will not hear the end of it. You will not hear the end of it. But we'll see what happens, man. God help us.
100%. Mr. B, I don't know if you're still there, Mr. B, but Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm still in there.
What's your Arsenal?
Yeah, I thought it was a good win. Good win for the Gunners. A bit of a monkey off their back, Brighton, innit? They ain't got a good record against them. So, it's a good win. But the real test is to come, innit? Against Liverpool and everything. So, you're really going to prove if you're in the title race or not, I think, against Liverpool, innit? really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's it? Quickly. Does anyone here actually think Arsenal can actually get over the line and beat Liverpool? Or do you think it's too soon? Do you think we haven't got what it takes? Do you think Liverpool are just going to be too strong for us? Do you think we can? Beat Liverpool? Was A, under pressure, B, with the crowd onto us? Do you think Arsenal can do, or do you think take a draw and
I
run?
think so. Yeah, I think you guys can do something. For me, if they play like they did against Arsenal, I think you can get a result. For me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the best way to answer that question will be to talk about the Liverpool United game, and we'll find out what United did right. But now I think, Aris, we've got 2 more games as well to look at. One of them, which will be certainly of interest to our friend Mr. B, and this is the game in question. You get you got the
I
floor.
told you, obviously,
Fire away.
Manny's happy that because it's second team,
Yeah.
but
I
Mr.
suppose
B.
I've got to talk about it, but yeah.
But yeah, talk to me about the game and
Yeah,
obviously Ollie Keane staring at your fans. What's going on? What's going on there?
Oh,
Good evening.
big injury list, mate. Big injury list. Too many good players out, and having a player sent off didn't fucking help. So, the ref was absolute fucking shitty, useless brat. Made some really bad decisions. It just we just fucked it, mate. 70 minutes, we were hanging on 1-0, and we could have won it. We had a player sent off. That's it, man. We were screwed. That was it. And I thought, well, Villa were all over us. They probably did deserve the win. They're a very good team. I like Villa, but we still could have hung on. And I think with 11 we would have done it. But there you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is unacceptable behavior from Ollie Watkins for him to do that, because in football you do have
I'd rather not speak. I made comments on this, Horace, and I've been told I'm wrong. So
Arteta now, I don't speak or comment. But yeah, man. I mean, Manny, over to you. Obviously, Aston Villa big win against Brentford. What's your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, well, they're not necessarily my second team, but I am, of course, taking interest in them, and for certain reasons. And this is obviously a win which Aston Villa will look at and say, they can be happy with that because they needed an away win, and it was a win that they ground out. But I think they will be honest enough to put into perspective the fact that if you lot had Mbeumo and or Tony fit, it could potentially have been a different story. And once again, that high line of Villa's. Yes, you can use the low block with the high line, but there would have been moments where both Mbeumo and Tony could have broken that line and been one-on-one with the keeper. But the Ben Mee sending off, I think you can agree with me, Steve. That was a dreadful challenge by the defender. You cannot go studs up.
Was it? I'm not so sure.
I wouldn't necessarily. The problem was he sort of pretty much went with his studs towards Leon Bailey's ankle, and if the impact had been even worse, the Jamaican would have been literally, floored. There would have been some serious damage. And this is an example of VAR working perfectly because the referee did initially give the defender a yellow card, but then he saw the incident on the screen and realized that the yellow card didn't do it justice, so he cancelled it and gave him a red, and he was off. And it was just unfortunate, really, that the sending off of Ben Mee turned the game around, because I think you can agree that the ex-Burnley defender has been one of your more consistent and even better players this season. Yeah.
I still thought it was accidental, though, Manny. How can you control yourself when you're going into a tackle like that? There's no possible way you can know that your leg's going to come up. It's accidental, if anything. It's not 2-footed. And, we've seen much worse than that, where people have, almost, done a player's career and they've got away with it, And a tackle like that wasn't that bad. I've seen a lot worse than that. And, players have got away with it.
Yeah, I get
right.
where you're coming. I get where you're coming from, and certainly some of those tackles should have been punished severely. But two wrongs don't make a right, and it's just unfortunate that it happened because you lot obviously did play well with your youngster opening the scoring after some pretty poor Villa
Bruce
defending, it has to
Potter.
be said.
Yeah,
Yep, and
good stuff.
once
Right.
Villa got back, it was Moreno who made amends for his poor defending with an equaliser, and of course Watkins getting the go-ahead goal. And I'm going to say this right now: in as much as I rate Ollie Watkins and Emi Martinez as players, I think Watkins probably didn't need necessarily to react the way that he did. When you score a goal, you sometimes need to have the willingness to just say, I'm reminded of what the former Icelandic striker, Iceland's national striker, Ida Gudjohnsen used to do. Whenever he'd score, he'd go to the crowd and just say, "Here you are," or just don't say anything. Just let your play do the talking. And I think Emery will have to have some words with Watkins like that. I know Watkins used to play for you lot, and so I'd like to think in the best case scenario, he'd still have some good memories of his time there, and the fans would also, respect him. So to get that sort of abuse, I wouldn't necessarily put it on par with the abuse that Solskjaer Jeremiah Campbell would get whenever he'd go back to White Hart Lane. But still, sometimes if the abuse wasn't racial, as you say it wasn't, then maybe Watkins should have controlled himself. But
Ollie said himself that he said it wasn't racist. He said himself it wasn't racist. So, but he's obviously wrong. I know it's terrible. Any abuse is terrible. Absolutely. But, at the end of the day, you've got to deal with it in a different way. Sometimes to be the better man is just to walk away and just don't bother rising to it, That's
I get that. I get that. I mean, like, you don't need to, show your left cheek after being hit on your right cheek, because if you do that, you're asking to get punched or clocked. But, and of course, with the Neil Maupay, Emi Martinez incident, I've been saying that Emi Martinez owes Neil Maupay a drink. But Maupay was the one actually who started it by, running all the way and just barging into Martinez. And look, I think it is fair to say that maybe Martinez's reaction was deliberate, but there was no need for Maupay to do that. And I always say, Mr. B, in as much as, people like to say that two wrongs don't make a right, you can't just exonerate the first wrongdoer. And you can agree, seeing Maupay's attitude in several cases, that he is a little bit of a pot stirrer at the worst of times, and he can be a real pain. He can be a bit of a pain in the backside. He didn't need to run into Martinez the way that he did, and he did start the whole thing. But I will say this:
he shouldn't have done what he done either.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. What happened near the end with Maupay on the floor and Martinez walking up to him and then grabbing him by the shirt? I'm sorry, but that is inexcusable. Yeah. And how he was not punished for that, I will never know. And this is really frustrating with me, because you'd think that a guy like him now, who has earned a bit of goodwill and respect in the game for his performances and his leadership qualities, you don't want him to do something like that. You don't want him to turn into a Roy Keane style thug. Sorry, Oris, but I do have to say that. You don't want him to turn into some sort of a thug and engage in that sort of behaviour, especially given that he's the vice captain of Aston Villa. And if and when Argentina's senior players all retire, he could very well be in line to become the Argentinian captain, for the way he has so much weight and influence on that team. So for him to act that way, I just think it was out of order. And then the externality was that Camara got sent off for I don't even know what he got sent off for. And so Villa have got some problems now, because they've got to try to replace him. I know that I've been critical of Camara for his poor ball control at some times, but this season he has looked good. So without him, of course, Douglas Luiz will be coming back into the team. The only question is, who will replace Kamara? Could it be Dendoncker? Could it be Jacob Ramsey? Could Tielemans come in? I'm not too sure. I think the closest person to perform that sort of role that Camara would perform would maybe be Dendoncker, and yet he hasn't had too many minutes. So that's caused a few problems. Maybe Camara's dismissal could be appealed. Maybe the sentence will be reduced. But what worries me is what might happen to Martinez after a review of proceedings. He might be given a suspension, which would mean that either Marshall or Olsen might have to play in the next game. And so Emery is going to have to really have to do a lot of talking to Martinez, because look, they were also involved together at Arsenal. Emery wanted to develop Martinez. He made him our Europa League and Cup goalkeeper. And, you know, Martinez also has to start to grow up and realize that, you know, you can't be hot-blooded all the time. I know that Argentinians do have a tendency to be a little bit heavily passionate and very, you know, hot-blooded. But there comes a time when, there comes a time when you sort of have to, you know, knock that off, especially if you're getting older and a lot more is expected of you. You can't do that. Of course, people talk about Diego Maradona, but that guy cheated to win the 86 World Cup. And as captain in 1994, he failed the drug test and let his team down. So how people can rate him ahead of the late and great Edson Arantes do Nascimento, I will never, ever know. But Emmy really needs to get his act together, I think. And I'm not saying this because I consider you... Yeah, I'm not saying this because I consider you to be a good mate of mine, Mr. B. I'm trying to be fair. I love Emmy as a person and as a player, but this wasn't really his finest moment. And I hope you can appreciate my impartiality.
As much as I think he's a great keeper, man, you know, to do that stuff, you know, and he delays taking kicks as well, goal kicks and everything. You know, why does he have to do that? You know, he's a great keeper. Why? Why does it have to be a shithouse, you know?
It's time wasting. I mean, look, a lot of other goalkeepers do that. He's not doing anything that others haven't done over the course of their careers. I do agree that maybe he'll have to dial it down, and Emery will, you know, try and speak to him. But, you know, I don't mind some occasional, you know, craphousery. I don't mind, you know, him taking the mickey out of people. But, you know, close to violent conduct, that is out of order. And I'm not even criticizing him for his behavior in the World Cup against Louis van Gaal, the Netherlands coach, and also when he mocked Kylian Mbappe. I thought those were absolute, you know, he was justified in the way and reacting the way he did. But, you know, there is a line you just can't cross. And I think it's fair to say that, you know, any goodwill that that Martinez might have had for Malpe has been extinguished. No drinks for you, Neil.
I must admit, he's a bit of a git, Malpe, isn't he? So let's be honest. But
but no,
gets what he deserves. Something.
Yeah, my thoughts. Obviously, you know, this was a crazy game, man. Obviously, but no, big win for Villa. Going to the Brentford Stadium. I mean, it is quite tough, you know, to perform well and get a win. But yeah, obviously some crazy moments in the game. But you know, 3 points is 3 points, and I'm sure, you know, Thomas Frank and his side will bounce back after this. So, look, listen, Brentford fans just still back the team, back the manager.
You got Wolves next, so hope you can bounce back. You know, against Wolves. So hoping, you know, we're at home again. So much as I like Wolves and I like their manager, but you know, we still got to come back, man. So. You know, I think we can, you know. We just need to get somebody else to get goals. That's all. It's tough at the moment. So,
Ollie, what's your thoughts on this game? Brentford 1, Aston Villa 2.
Yeah, obviously good win for Aston Villa. Obviously, in Brentford 1-0 up, but Villa came back. The overall good win for Villa.
Yeah, and do you see Brentford bouncing back after this game? Obviously, they play Wolves next, so do you see them bouncing back?
Yeah, I think they'll beat Wolves. Yeah.
Cool. Right, next game.
And don't forget, Aston Villa could potentially end up being top of the table at Christmas if they beat Sheffield United and Liverpool and Arsenal draw. So they've got something to fight for. but
Yeah.
they are going to have to improve their discipline.
It's a win-win situation for
Yeah,
Manny,
yeah.
to be fair. Well, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always Arsenal over Villa. You know that, Orest.
but last two games.
Yeah, don't you start stirring the pot, son. Don't start stirring the pot.
Next game, West Ham, big win against Wolves, 3-0 win. I mean, listen, look, United play them soon on Saturday, lunchtime kickoff, but won't be easy for United, mate. But I'll save that for the preview stream. But yeah, West Ham, they did their job. 3 goals. I didn't see 3 goals, I thought maybe, 2-1 West Ham, edgy game, but no, clean sheet, 3 goals. David Moyes. Yeah, they're looking good. Kudos. Listen, I would have preferred him instead of that Mason Mount player, but yeah, he looks like a really good signing for West Ham. Ward-Prowse, Paqueta. Yeah, I mean, they're playing very good at the moment, and it will be tough for us on Saturday. But this is a huge win for West Ham because Wolves, obviously, if we scrap the VAR stuff that they've been handled properly, they've been they look good. They have looked good this season with Gary Neal. But yeah, this is how Gary Neal will react to this after, because they do have another tricky game, Brentford away. So it's about how Gary Neal reacts to that. But West Ham, fair play to them, man. They played very well, and obviously one of the goals. All their goals have been, I think West Ham, all their goals has been class anyways, but Kudu's player. Bowen, what a player. They just have that midfield for me that I really like now. They got Paqueta, Ward-Prowse. They have very good, stable midfield. But yeah, Ollie, your thoughts on this game, West Ham win?
Yeah, good win for West Ham. Obviously, 3 goals. Paqueta doing well, got a hat-trick of assists. Kudus did really well as well. Bowen, they're doing well at the moment. They're 8th. They should be higher than that. But yeah, good win for West
How
Ham.
many points are they away from United, Ollie?
1.
Oh, okay. So if they beat us, they'll go ahead of us. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man. Manny, over to you. West Ham 3 goals, clean sheet. Your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, in as much as we should compliment West Ham for the win, I think Wolves are also starting to slip a little bit. So far, it's interesting to note that they've been a team that has enjoyed a great deal of goodwill and sympathy, given that they've been on the wrong end of some pretty poor refereeing decisions and have been playing some good football in the process. But I think this time around they were just, defensively outclassed. The fact that they do have several of their normal starters out injured hasn't really helped them. And I've been normally quite complimentary of David Bentley, but I think it's fair to say that Bentley wasn't really running very smoothly in this game. Should have done better for the first goal. And, Wolves are now starting to slip a little bit, and if they're not careful, they could find themselves in a relegation scrap. So Gary O'Neill has sort of seen his honeymoon period ended in a way, and I think he's now going to have to just get the boys to start working a little bit harder and just make sure that they buck up their ideas. But West Ham also through to the knockout stages of the Europa League as group winners. They certainly look in fine shape. I don't see them going all the way to win the tournament. I think they'll probably end up reaching the semis and then, going out the way they did the season before they won the Conference League. And all those people who are talking about how it would be better for West Ham if David Moyes were to be sacked, they're continuing to eat their words with a little bit of salt and pepper and maybe a little bit more. And good luck to West Ham. I think they're going to be a team that you simply cannot overlook. And, we've struggled against them too of late. So Arsenal had to be very careful against them. No doubt about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mr. B, your thoughts on the West Ham win?
Yeah, good. Yeah, very good win for West Ham. I mean, I do like Wolves. I think obviously O'Neill, great manager. But obviously, as Manny said, his honeymoon period's come to an end. But West Ham are doing well again. I think Moyes is unsung there. He should. I don't know why people will talk about him getting sacked because he's done so much for them and won that European Conference trophy. So, what more can he do? I mean, I think they're just going to keep going. I think they'll be in the probably mid or top 10 of the league. So, I think they'll be comfortable. I don't think they're going to win any. I don't think they'll win Europe again or anything. But I think they'll do well. So that'll be good.
Yeah. You're right. But obviously, we do have the last game, and that is Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0. No, look, listen. For anyone saying
It was all nil.
but if you look at compared to last season to this season, I'm happily taking a draw because we got destroyed last season. 7-0. People know
7-0,
7
wasn't it?
left, right,
Yeah.
and centre. But what? Johnny Evans, fair play to you, mate. Varane, masterclass of a performance. And yeah, but look, the last 5 minutes, Michael Oliver, hang your head in shame, mate, because he tried to make the game all about himself, sending off Dalot, 2 yellow cards for what? Protesting, showing you why he's right, because with the replay, when they show the replay, Salah touched it.
Yeah.
It came up from Salah, gave it to Liverpool. Salah wasn't happy, and then obviously when he booked him, he wasn't happy with that. So and then he sends him off. So Michael Oliver just finds some shame, mate, because he tried to make the game about himself. He tried to let Liverpool come back to us, but Liverpool were poor, man. Liverpool were poor. I know people are talking about how great United's defense was, and yes, all the back four: Luke Shaw, Onana, Mane. No more on a slate, yeah. No, I'm joking. Look, the same thing happened with Onana. I think he had a good game. Wait, there was one moment before the season. I think before we played Bayern, then a good game. It was Everton. Then we got destroyed to Bayern, or I think it was Galatasaray. So,
no.
I'm just gonna calm myself with Onana. Listen, he had a good game. No money's man, but he had a good game. But he needs to keep up with Onana. He needs to keep going because we got West Ham on Saturday. Then we got Aston Villa next week. You need to show why you're better than Martinez. So, look, listen. The whole back five was brilliant. Kobe Mainu was outstanding. Young teenager to perform like that and feel brilliant. Amrabat, listen, he didn't have his best game, to be fair, but you know what? I'll be easy with him because he's got no one to cover him. Because Kobe Mainu, you can't rely on him. Because I'm not with this quote of let's rely on teenagers because we simply can't. McTominay captain, McTominay for me could have done way better in that match for me because there were quite a few chances where he could have passed well, but you know what? This thing, but then Højlund for me, I'm sorry, but you have to finish that chance. I'm sorry, but I know he's only 20 and such, but that chance that he had, he could have buried that. Even with Garnacho, what was it, 1-on-1, and then Trent defended really well. We had chances, and for me, listen, I will back what I said in the group chat. I think United had better chances than Liverpool in that game because Liverpool, all they did is send a few crosses, and they won a few headers. But for me, look at the game properly. Garnacho chance, Højlund chance. If we bury that, it would have been 2-0. You never know. But yeah, fair play. For me, listen, I will never celebrate a draw, but I will take it from now. But now we just have to go to West Ham and get a win, really. Not get something, we need to get a win. So you know what? Fair play to the guys. We could have won, but I'll take a point with that. But yeah, Mike Oliver, shame on you, because we can't overturn it because 2 double yellows, you can't overturn that. But if it was a straight red, we could have possibly appealed for it. But shame on Mike Oliver. But yeah, let me go to Manny. Manny, your thoughts on the game, Liverpool Man United.
Right. First of all, let me make something crystal clear. I believe yesterday, of course, was the 1-year anniversary of Argentina reaching the summit of winning the World Cup, and a certain Emiliano Martinez Romero played his role in that. So as long as Martinez has winners' medals in the Copa America and the World Cup, he's always going to be better than Onana. I'm sorry. And he also has club silverware with Arsenal, and he could win some more with Aston Villa. We'll see what Onana does with Manchester United.
Oh, yeah.
But fair play to Onana. I did have some decent saves. I mean, obviously there are some saves which any goalkeeper would be expected to make, but especially a goalkeeper of his quality. But you still have to make them. And he stepped up well, as did the defense. I had my doubts about Varane and Johnny Evans, but as you say, fair play to them. And, McTominay also doing his best. I think tactically, of course, Klopp has to be complimented for trying something different. Obviously, he brought Trent into the midfield to bring Joe Gomez on. And he took off Shabazz. He took off two of his midfielders in the process, bringing on Gakpo and Nunes to try and sort of reshape the midfield in a way. I was a bit surprised that he kept Endo on, because Endo, for me, was losing a lot of balls in the center of the midfield. And as I said, Rice will look to cook him when we go there to Anfield. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, like Alexander Zinchenko, is a better midfielder than the fullback. Let's get put that right there. And some of the way he's able to find some crosses is just phenomenal. But also, if he's up against a really solid left winger, he also might not be able to defend for Toffee, you see. And he doesn't need a Toffee because he's a red, and Reds don't like Toffees, but whatever. And I just think it was a tactical, I wouldn't necessarily say masterclass from Ten Hag, but he did what he needed to do, and he proved that when he switched on and when he has the players that he wants, he is tactically an absolute master. And Arteta's going to have his work cut out as well. But Liverpool did dominate that game. They certainly looked the side more likely to score. Maybe it was a comparative lack of quality in the final third, although they did have several shots on target. The sad part is I'm worried that they might end up turning their anger on us when we go to play them, because, when they are embarrassed enough that they aren't able to emulate last season's result, they're going to be angry as heck. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And tactically, he might decide to bring in someone like a Harvey Elliott, or maybe start with Trent in the midfield and keep Joe Gomez as a right back, because Joe Gomez is actually a deceptively efficient fullback, and he hasn't been given the credit that he deserves. If you play him in the center of defense, though, he looks like a duck out of water. Let's be very clear. So Klopp will have some work to do, and hopefully, if Ten Hag could take some confidence from this, it can stand you in good stead when you play West Ham and then play Aston Villa. But again, it'll remain to be seen whether or not the players who did start will be able to replicate that success. It should give them some confidence going forward. But some of the results they've had this season have been nothing short of abysmal. And so while Orest is off, Ollie, you can briefly say what you thought about the game, and then Mr. B, you can give your thoughts. But Ollie, you first, son.
Yeah, obviously, Man United did us a favour drawing against Liverpool, obviously, because put us top of the league. But yeah, a bit of a boring game. Not really much to say about it, but yeah, good. I think good result for Man United, because they could have easily been thrashed. Onana had a good game. The defense played well, so yeah, good result for Man United. Not so much for Liverpool. They could have won the game, but yeah.
Right. And Mr. B, maybe you did get to see the game. Would you call it a United? Would you call it a Ten Hag masterclass, or did Liverpool just run out of steam or run out of ideas?
I would say that one, the last one, because what did Man United really do? So I think it was mainly Liverpool what I saw of it, and I thought, well, why the hell didn't they win the match? They had quite a few chances as well. They're a bit wasteful. Let's be honest. And you lot could be made to pay for that. If they, they decide to turn up and wallop you, that's it, So, yeah, but I don't know where Man United are going to go from here, because I just think, I don't know whether they're going to keep hold of Ten Hag. I mean, is he really doing a lot there? Is he really helping them? Has he really improved them? I'm not so sure. But you can't keep getting new managers in, sacking them and bringing new managers in, can you? So, but anyway, I think Liverpool are a good team. I think they're going to be in that title race again. It's going to be a close thing. And they're going to give you a hell of a game, Arsenal. So that's your real test, isn't it, to come?
Yeah.
So
agreed. And I think the Arsenal fans are probably going to look to the spirit of 1989 when we went there needing to win by 2 clear goals. And then future red Michael Thomas bursting through the defence and slotting it between, past Grobbelaar. I didn't see that, I'm afraid, but the 91 season when we beat them at Anfield and did the business. I mean, we beat them at Highbury and that 3-0 at Highbury and did the business against them at Anfield on our way to winning. That was probably a really complete thing. But look, this team is a far cry from that team. Those teams in that era would smoke this lot hands down. The quality of the players that were there. These players can't hold a candle now. But all we can do is watch and wait and hope and pray that they won't be on a revenge mission against us. But it is what it is. We move forward. We're still top for now. Hopefully, we will stay top at Christmas time. But we were top at Christmas time last year, and it didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
And angels always top the Christmas tree, but it always comes down afterwards.
But
so.
Did you? But Ollie, did you talk about it, Ollie?
Yeah, I talked about it.
He did. He did.
Cool. Yeah, but for me, Michael Oliver, by the way, guys, I don't know if you're giving your thoughts, but that was silly, man, to set up Dalot like that. That was just silly, man, for me, right?
Yeah, it was a poor decision to give the throw in, but for Dalot to do what he did, I mean, look, the refs have been very clear that any form of dissent, any form of petulance towards the referee cannot be tolerated. Maybe Oliver could have just kept it as a booking, but for Dalot to just completely lose his marbles like that, I'm sorry, but he knew what he was doing. I get that you're angry with Michael Oliver. He's not one of my favorite referees, but I'm sorry, Dalot was asking for it. And the worst part is you've now got to field Wan-Bissaka right back for the next few games, I think.
To be honest, I don't even mind Wan-Bissaka. He's very good defensively, but I think he's working that. But yeah, that was the last game. I mean, talking about Liverpool, they do play Arsenal. I'm watching that game this week, and that's going to be... Listen, whoever wins that is going to be interesting. But I think a draw is probably best for Arsenal, in my opinion. But the draws shouldn't be celebrated anyways. Because if Arsenal telling us not to celebrate draws, then you guys should not be celebrating if you also get a draw. But yeah, that has been all the games done, recapped, and Nito. Let's get people to shout the socials like we usually do. Let's start off with the man himself, Ollie Sinclair. Where can people find you? Big up for joining.
Yeah, big up. So you can catch me on my YouTube channel, D Sinclair, as it says down below there. Probably streams back in the new year. A lot more content in the new year, so stay tuned for that. I was on the road to 1,100 by the end of the year, but that'll be the aim next year. Want to catch me on Instagram, Ollie.Sinclair556 and WRF fan page 1. And yeah, big up for having me on. That's it.
Yeah, big up to you, Mr. B. Big up to you. Where can we find you?
Yeah, Mr. B for Life 182. Mr. B for Life football. I've forgotten it, man. But anyway, I'm watching this football, man. I'm just gone, mate. So anyway, yeah, be Hive Football Chat. That's the channel. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah. Anyway, people please keep subscribing. I'm up to 79 now, so that's going really well. I'm looking to get to 100 by the end of the year. I'm not sure that's possible, but never mind. If it's not, I'll get to it after Christmas and the New Year. So Got plenty of content coming out. Got a preview for the Wolves game and everything. Doing my debate show on a Monday, and it's all going pretty well. So thanks for having me on again, Orest, and cheers to the other lads, Manny and Ollie.
Yeah,
and come on, you D's. Let's get back to it. Beat the Wolves. Come on.
Big up to Mr. B, and last but not least, Manny himself. Where can we find you?
Yeah, on YouTube, over here on Orest Talks Football, also on Howard's Coach's Corner, other channels, Del Boy Gunner TV, Tony Claw Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, up the cherries in all departments. Big up to Northside LDN. I go on his post-match streams every now and then and have my say. Wonderful to hear him, ramble on in a mixture of English and Portuguese. I learned a few phrases from him already. And I will also be doing a stream with Lockman Yunus Eugen from Eugen Spurs Asia TV, really top fella living in Malaysia. And, as the Arsenal fan to his being a Spurs fan, we get along like houses on fire, and we have some really good discussions. And I always say that we have to keep things respectful on these streams and treat others the way we'd like to be treated ourselves. So no banter, just proper discussion, and that's the way it should be. And obviously, you can tell from my critique of Emi Martinez that I am capable of being impartial. Social media, catch me at Manny Thangadurai 1981 on Instagram and Threads, and on Twitter it's Thangadurai 1981. And just once again, thanks to those in the chat who've joined. I would have liked to have seen a few more people coming into the chat, but it's all good, not a problem. Big up to our panelists, including Josh and of course Ollie and Mr. B. And Mr. B, you'll be delighted to know that we've got 267 for 3. It's a score which with some one-day teams can't even make, and we've managed that in 20 overs. So this match is ours to lose.
We've got to defend that. We're going to defend that, aren't we? Yeah.
We've got to, mate. We've got to. No other choice. But that's pretty much it. To all of you who are watching in the chat, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the remainder of the Carabao Cup action and some other sporting action around the world. If you're watching the World Club Championship, enjoy that too. And don't do anything that myself or our other panelists wouldn't do. But for now, my eyes are literally bleary and I need to sleep. So as always, farewell to thee. Goodbye and God bless to all of you. And if this is our if we're doing are we doing a preview stream as well? So hopefully this won't be our last stream before Christmas. So I'll hope to see you again before then.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Yeah, big up to you, man. But yeah, guys, if you haven't, what's going on here? Hang on. Hang on a minute. Streamer playing around because I did not say solo layout, but yeah, guys, but yeah, make sure you have subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. We are about 20 or so away. There we go, 20 or so. I think it's like 20 or 30 away from 500. So make sure, our target is before the year, but we'll see. Anything can happen. But yeah, we'll be back. Gameweek preview this week, hopefully. Should be Friday, hopefully. Should be, yeah. And yeah, make sure you have the notifications on. Make sure you follow us on Twitter or Footy, Instagram, Orest Talks Football, Instagram. Make sure to give us a follow. We just recently hit 600 followers on there. On YouTube, make sure to subscribe because we provide you the football content you guys enjoy. So yeah, but for now, we are out. Peace.